guys, Betsy here with Unique Paper 15. Thanks so much for stopping by today. Today is the Stash Remix Challenge. Here is my older stamp that I got a long time ago. It is just falling apart. It was a holiday stamp, but to me, it looked like more of a Mother Nature, Father Time. This is my newer stamp that I just got from Joann Fabric. And it's like sentiments, a birthday sentiment kind of stamp that I picked up, I believe, for $2. And I'll be using my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I stamped out two to see which one gave the better impression, because that stamp was so old, it really wasn't like crisp as I wanted. So I choose the one on the bottom, and now I'm gonna get to coloring it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the challenge, but it was called, or it still is, Stash Remix. And what it was use your oldest stamp mixed with your newest stamp. So a few of us were doing this, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to start out with coloring the skin of the face, or the little stamp here, and there's not a lot of surface area. So I come in with my EOO, and then I follow up with my ROO, and I'll put everything down in the description if you want to use these colors, but you can use whichever colors you want. Next, I'm coming in with a Y23, and I wanted to give this Father Time somewhat of a really light, natural pastel, just organic look. Now I'm coming in with my YROO, and again, you see there's such little surface area in the face. It's almost silly I'm using this many colors. Then I come in with the EOO and then my E21. I'm just trying to create some shadow wherever I can. Now I'm hitting the branches with that E21. There's twigs. Now I want to come in and just color the leaves. And you have to really pay attention because this stamp has so many little pieces, you need to almost look for the leaves. So I come in with my Chartreuse. That was a BLICK, and now my G94 is a COPICS. And I'm trying to lay down the lighter than the darker, all on the same side on each leaf. So usually the darker on the left or the top, and the lighter on the bottom or the right. Now this is a Prismacolor Spring Green, and this is just going to be that nice middle balance between that Chartreuse and that G94 to make them pop a little more. I need to come back in with the Chartreuse and lighten a few of those leaves up, which is fine. You know, you never know how it's going to turn out with your first two blendings. So now I'm done with a few of those leaves. Now I'm coming in with, well, this is my Ballet Pink, my Prismacolor, but what I'm coming to do is color the flowers. I want to make all of these flowers just really, really light. I want them to not be red or green. Now I'm coming in with my E93. I don't want it to appear to be a Christmas or holiday card just because there's some holly leaves in there. I'm trying to reinvent this stamp into something else. So one way to do that is by using alternate colors as well. So now I'm coming in with my Winsor & Newton Almond, and I'm going over those flowers just the same. And you can see here, and berries, I'm sorry. So the berries. And you see how the poinsettias, I colored green instead of red. That was one way of flipping it from a holiday card to Mr. Time or Father Time. Now this is a BLICK Stone Color. And again, I'm just going over these twig branches where it meets against the little berry looking areas. It's a very light pastel color as well. Now I'm coming in with a Latte. This is a BLICK marker, and I'm just creating some shadow on all of those twigs. And you can see there's not a lot of area here. Now this is a Prismacolor Cinnamon Toast, and I'm darkening up all the twigs. Okay, now the light umber, again a BLICK, and this is going to be the darkest brown I use for these twigs. I'm just going on the underside of wherever there is a twig, and you can see the shadow coming in. This is a light peach Prismacolor. And now this is where I'm going to start coloring all of those leftover leaves and maybe some, I don't know, some negative space just to create some more organic look. Now I'm coming in with my BG4, BG2, and BG1. And you'll see what I do with these guys here. I'm trying to create not an antique, but a beard that is, you know, one of those older, those men that have those beards that have so many different colors in them. It almost looks like along their lifetime they had highlights put in their beards. So that's kind of the thought process behind this, is to make him look like he's got the natural color changes in his beard. So, and you'll see I faded out to where it looks, you know, more of like a gray and white kind of beard. And this was a lot of fun to do too. So now I believe I'm back to my IG1, just giving some light shadow. This actually lightens up the other two colors that I was using. So you can see he's coming together quite nice. I really do like this stamp set. I noticed I need to come back in and shade his mustache. So I'm coming in with an E11, or maybe it was his nose. No, I wanted to create shadow under his eyes. That was the idea there. Now this is my E13. Excuse me. Now I'm coming in and really reinforcing those shadows around the eyes. Now this is going to be my E50, and you know I just have to put an E50 on all flesh. So there, his face is done. It's a cute little face. Now I decide I want to give him blue eyes. So I take my BG15 and my BG11 and just very small, just give him a dark and a light, and that is it. Now he's got beautiful blue eyes. So now I decide I need to color these birds. I'm deciding what else I want to do because there's two like holiday bells down there too. So now I'm going to come in with a grouping of TB2, TB3 from Spectrum Noir, and Aqua Blue from Winsor & Newton, and I want to color these little bluebirds. And here's my TB3. Again, I'll put them all in the description. And do you see, they look so cute. They're like bluish purple, and they kind of match his eyes. Just trying to do that 3 thing there, that triangle. Now I'm coming in with some French Gray 40. I'm going to color those holiday bells, just really shadow them, not give them a lot of color, but give them like that chrome steel look. And you see I keep having to refer to the stamp because I'm not really sure what all these little pieces are. So I do the best I can. Make them as organic pastel-y. Now here's the new stamp. I have to decide, how am I going to do this? I see happy birthday, let's celebrate, time to party. So then I have an idea. What am I good at? I'm good at cutting up stamps. I cut up so many of my stamps. I make them say whatever I want to say. So I decide that I'm going to pick a couple of the sentiments and I'm going to emboss them with some beautiful embossing powder. So I take Let's Celebrate and Time To, and I cut it up and I put Let's Celebrate Time. That's going to be what this ends up saying. And I think that, you know, that's kind of a deep statement. You know, we don't have a lot of time. We only have this one life, so let's celebrate time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stamp it off here. And I use my Turkish Nights. It's by Wow. And I love this embossing powder. It's so beautiful. So I'm just wiping off some of the excess and of course putting the extra back. And there it is, the Turkish Nights embossing glitter. Now I'm going to use my heat tool, make sure it's nice and hot, and I'm just going to melt it down really quick. It only takes a second to emboss a couple sentiments. And it came out nice. So now back to the stamp. So I decide he's nice and colored, I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut him out. Now you see all the twigs, branches, birds, leaves. This was very time consuming to fussy cut, but I didn't want to leave this just to my scan and cut. I wanted to get every little nook and cranny. So I take my time and I cut around every branch and every berry and the birds and everything, because it ends up looking better for it in the end. You see? Now he has all the detail that he should have. Now I'm going to do the exact same with my sentiment. I'm just going to free form cut around the words. I really want this to look just completely natural. I don't want it to have a lot of stitching and frame cuts. So I choose my papers according to the colors I used in him. So I'm taking that natural ochre or natural paper there, and I decide that I want to lay it against this beautiful soft pink that I got from Lawn Fun. So I'm just eyeing it. I don't ever measure. I just line it up, and if that's the size I want, I cut. So now I'm deciding which one I want it to fall against next, and I ended up going with the lime green because it matches the chartreuse leaves in the stamp. So I cut this down. Now I'm deciding what do I want to back against. I wanted to go against this natural wood looking paper that I got. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to line them all up, and I'm going to choose which way I want my card to open, because you could do vertical or horizontal. So I go ahead and I cut that down right against the white, trim it up, and now I'm going to go ahead and start assembling it. I take out my ATG gun there and apply the wood. Now I'm going to make sure all of my pieces don't have any fray on them. I'm going to take out my 3M foam tape, and I'm going to go ahead and pop up. You'll see here I put the pink on the green, and then I end up popping that up from the base of the card. I'll show you here in a second. Now I'm going to put that natural on top of the pink, and I pop up the bottom of the green against that wood. So you'll see those three colors are actually lifted. It looks really nice in the end. So just a few pieces of foam tape, eyeball it to the middle. Now I want to decide how to do this, because you see I put Let's Celebrate Time in one thing. I didn't like it, so I'm going to cut it up to where it really says how I want it to translate. So I put Let's Celebrate. No, that's not what I want either. Let me see, what do I want? I'm deciding here. So I finally decide that this is how I want it to go. I'm going to put Let's Celebrate Him and then Time, since he is Father Time. Pop him up a little bit on some foam tape. Now I'm going to use my Zig 2A glue pen and just draw it right on the back of that sentiment, place him down in the middle on top, and that little time right at the bottom. I think that's so cute. And I take out my Spectrum Noir sparkle markers, and I want to give his eyes little blitz. Now on the berries, I'm just going over it with a little bit of, I think it's called Rose, and I'm just enhancing the berries. Now I'm coming in and adding some to the birds, the little bluebirds there. And you see, that's him. I just want to make sure my edges are nice and clean. I hate frays. You see, he came out really cute. I really enjoyed this challenge, and I thought it was a really neat concept to mix the old with the new. Sometimes we forget about our older stamps, but we loved them enough to get them at one time, so I'm sure we can use them again. This is the old stamp, and then here's the new stamp set that I got. And this is what I decided to make the Stash Remix challenge with. Alright guys, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe. Have a great day. Bye-bye.